What's good, everybody? Hope you guys are doing good. So we are back today for another video. It is Friday, August 7th. The year is going by pretty quick, and in this video I'm going to cover the latest update with the stimulus package and where we're currently at in terms of the stock market and the jobs numbers that was recently released. In case you guys aren't aware, I do use Twitter. If you guys are not already following me on Twitter, what are you waiting for? Go ahead and follow me. The fun never ends. And yesterday we just passed 208 followers. Thank you to all those who have followed, who have engaged, who have left comments. The Twitter fam is definitely a good group of folks, and follow me there. Link will be in the description below. As you can see here, just a glimpse. I do post pretty frequently. If I receive dividends, you guys do see it. And I made a new friend yesterday over here. You wanna know who it is? Go ahead and click and you can get a better picture. All right, let's continue. Okay, so this is from Forbes. Trump tweets executive order for payroll tax cuts, student loans, evictions, unemployment benefits still in play. Now, we are getting closer and closer to the election, so it's going to be very interesting to see how things play out. If Congress cannot come to an agreement for a new stimulus package, does Trump just pass what he wants via executive order? He's trying to get reelected, so he might have to do whatever he's got to do to win. And based on some of the polls, you see Biden is in the lead. Now, of course, how accurate they are, it's up to you, but that's what you have to work with for now. Alrighty, stimulus package. Here we go. This is tweeted from Trump. Upon departing the Oval Office for Ohio, I've notified my staff to continue working on an executive order with respect to payroll tax cut, eviction protections, unemployment extensions, and student loan repayment options. Trump wants at least these policies of payroll tax cut, eviction protection, unemployment benefits, and student loan repayment options to be included in the next package. So those are some good things, I guess. Payroll tax cut is good. Eviction protection is good. Unemployment extension and student loan repayment options can be helpful. The only thing is if both sides are going to agree to that, because that's always been the issue. They're not really the best at negotiating. They're good at arguing and debating a lot, but they're not good at coming to a decision, because it's August and there's not really a whole lot going on in terms of the stimulus package, and I'll show some articles to you guys that will show where we are at. Alright, so in terms of the payroll tax cut, Trump has said repeatedly he wants to suspend payroll taxes and wants a payroll tax cut in the next package. So what's interesting is Congress did not include the payroll tax cut in the HEALS Act. Trump apparently is going to pursue a payroll tax cut through executive order. So yeah, that's what I've been saying. If things don't get passed, he might just go executive order on these things, and for him to get elected again, he's going to have to probably do something if nothing gets passed. Payroll tax holidays by definition exclude those who are unemployed or retired. They also result in less revenue for the federal government, particularly for Social Security and Medicare. Okay. Alright, so here's the issue though. Like I said, I'm not a lawyer. Talk to a lawyer if you want legal advice with this stuff. But under Article 1 of the U.S. Constitution, only Congress has the power to lay and collect taxes. So like I said, I'm not the legal expert. Talk to a legal expert, you want legal advice. However, what about Obamacare? Wasn't that passed unilaterally by Obama? Or was it passed from Congress? I don't remember that one, but maybe it was passed from Congress. But I think maybe he did something to push it through. I could be wrong. Let me know in the comments below on that one. Student loans. Previously, Trump has supported simplifying federal student loan repayment plans to avoid confusion among borrowers and make them easier to manage it. Okay, let's see what else we got. The HEALS Act includes a new student loan repayment proposal, but does not include outright student loan forgiveness. Again, that's another point of contention. The whole student loan forgiveness versus the student loan repayment program. That's something that both sides are not able to come to an agreement on, and that will be interesting to see how things play out. But I could definitely see the argument on both sides. One side saying, hey, the cost is a lot, we should just let it slide, forgive it. And another side saying, hey, we need to get that money from the students who went to school, and some type of loan where the interest is lower or whatever may be more beneficial. Because right now, I think the last time I checked, it was about $4 or $5 trillion in student loans. So it's definitely going to be a problem that we're going to have to at some point figure out what we're going to do. Okay, let's continue on here. Trump used a 60-day executive order to pause student loan payments, set interest rates to 0 for federal student loans, and halt federal student loan debt collection. So it looks like Trump maybe wants to do more with the student loan thing. Now, if he's going to just straight up forgive it or have some type of payment plan, we're going to have to wait and see. Again, the executive order thing is going to come at play in a couple weeks here. Maybe sooner than later, because he's going to have to maybe push things through himself. Trump says he wants to extend the unemployment benefits. The $600 a week unemployment insurance benefit ended in July, and Congress did not agree to extend it. Yeah, of course Trump wants to extend it. The people who need that $600 are not getting it. Trump wants to get reelected, so it's in his best interest. If they're not going to pass it, just pass it himself, and that's going to help people who are struggling right now, and more importantly, he'll get the vote and get reelected, which is ultimately what he wants to do. Okay. Majority Leader Mitch McConnell now said he would be willing to support $600 a week benefits if the White House agrees. Eviction protection. More than 40 million Americans have filed for unemployment benefits as a result of the bug. Okay, let's continue on here. Let's see what we got. Maxine Waters also introduced the Emergency Housing Protections and Relief Act of 2020 in the House of Representatives to provide $100 billion in emergency relief to renters, extend the CARES Act eviction moratorium until March 2021, and provide $75 billion in relief for homeowners. It's unclear whether Trump's executive order would incorporate any part of these proposals or include an alternative path. Okay, so what's the next step? Where do we go from here? Congress was expected to reach a deal by August 7th. That's today. And so far, I've been watching the news while I'm at the gym, and there's no deal. Not at the moment. That now appears unlikely, which could push a stimulus deal to next week. It appears that Congress agrees on $1,200 stimulus checks. However, Trump has noted that he wants the second stimulus checks more than $1,200. If Congress can't agree, it is possible that Trump issues executive order on these policy proposals and potentially more. Like I said, guys, this is a movie. We're just watching this all unfold. What would be very interesting is, let's say Congress agrees on all these measures, right? Eviction protection, unemployment, student loan, the $1,200, whatever it is, and then Trump comes in and he just trumps it basically. So he makes it, instead of $1,200, $1,500. Instead of the eviction protection for 12 months, it's 24 months. Instead of unemployment benefits for, 5 months, it's for 8 months. That would be a good move if he's trying to get reelected. Let's continue on. This is from the Chicago Tribune. Second stimulus check updates. Bug relief talks on the brink of collapse as sides still very, very far apart and no meeting set for Friday. So they're supposed to have an agreement today, but there's no meeting. So they're going to have an agreement. So basically, it's not going to happen. We might have to wait till next week if something gets passed. However, these guys have recess coming up because they've been working very hard for a couple weeks here, and they need to take a little break, right? We don't want them to be too exhausted. We want them to take a break. A vacation. They call it a recess. It's a vacation. All right, let's continue on here. Let's see what we have. There's a handful of very big issues that we're still very far apart on, said Treasury Secretary Steve Mnuchin. He talked of impasses on aid to states and local governments and renewing supplemental unemployment benefits in the Thursday night meetings. Man, I'm really glad to not have a kid right now, because I can only imagine with schools reopening, a lot of parents are probably hesitant. One kid gets sick and then it passes, and what a complete nightmare situation right now for people who have kids. All right, a breakdown of the talks would put at risk more than 100 billion people to help reopen schools, a fresh round of 1,200 direct payments to most people, and hundreds of $1 billion for state and local governments to help them avoid furloughing workers and cutting services as tax revenues shrivel. That's going to be something else we're going to have to keep an eye on. With people not working as much, taxes are going to be less, meaning tax revenue is going to be less. So what gets cut? I have an idea for what should get cut, but I think you guys know where my head's at with that. We'll leave it at there, but they got to cut something. Alrighty. We're very far apart. It's unfortunate. Pelosi said, okay, we believe the patient needs a major operation, while Republicans want to apply just a Band-Aid, Schumer said. We won't let them just pass the Band-Aid, go home, and leave America bleeding. Okay. Interesting choice of words here. On Friday, the two pointed to the July jobs report to try to bolster their proposals. The report showed the U.S. added 1.8 million jobs last month, a much lower increase than in May and June. The latest jobs report showed the economy recovery spurred by the investment Congress has passed is losing steam, and more investments are still urgently needed to protect the lives and livelihood of the American people. Alright, so that's where the stock market is going to come in. It's going to be a roller coaster because a lot of money has been pumped into the market to kind of keep it up, and at some point it's going to have to correct itself. That's just my opinion. So keep an eye on that if you are trying to invest or looking at a time to invest. A good time might be coming up shortly. We just gotta wait and see. Okay, I don't think they know what they're talking about, Pelosi said dismissively Thursday. Pelosi and Schumer staked out a firm position to extend a lapsed $600 per week bonus jobless benefit, demanded generous child care assistance, and reiterated their insistence for food stamps and assistance to renters and homeowners facing evictions and or foreclosures. Don't nickel and dime our children, Pelosi said. Don't worry. We want to give a tax break to a business lunch and not give more money for children to have food stamps. As you guys can see, two different opposing views. Not here to say what's right or wrong, you decide, but that's mainly the issue. These guys have opposing views, and how they're going to come to a resolution, your guess is as good as mine. This is from CNN Politics. Stimulus talks on the brink of collapse as two sides trade blame and get no closer to a deal. This is from August 6th. Today is the 7th, so this is fresh off the press. Alright. A 3-hour meeting Thursday evening between senior administration officials and Democratic leaders yielded little progress as both sides seemed resigned to the likelihood that Congress won't reach a major stimulus deal amid an economic crisis. Both sides emerged from the meeting trading blame for the sputtering talks, and the administration officials warned that President Trump would take executive action if no deal is reached by Friday. Today is Friday, and as you guys saw in my article I was telling you guys earlier from Chicago Tribune and from Forbes, these guys don't really have a whole lot going, and steam's kind of running out. So who knows, maybe today or tonight Trump passes something to kind of get the ball rolling a little bit, because at the moment it's not looking good for a new package. Okay, so let's continue on here. Pelosi has indicated no willingness to back off the demand for restoring enhanced unemployment benefits to a level of $600 a week. We have said that we are going to have the $600, she said, adding, "They know what we know that they know that we want the $600." Now Republicans have wanted to bring that number down to I think 200 or 400, and that's where the point of contention is at the moment. All right, let's see if there's anything else here that can be useful. Schumer added if $10 billion would be sufficient to help with their budget. What was added? We'll figure out what they need. We don't fully trust them. With everything Trump has said about the post office and their Trump appointees. All right. Well, that's about the USPS. Asked if DeJoy told Democratic leaders the USPS wouldn't be able to guarantee 100% would be delivered. Schumer said, "I don't want to say what they said, but we pushed it. It's going to be 100%, not 94, 97. It looks like that's a whole other layer. The post office situation, they have a lot of debt, billions of dollars of debt, and looks like they can't agree on funding it. I remember reading an article recently, though, where Trump didn't really want to fund it too much, and that was that, from what I recall reading. Hours of talks on U.S. bug relief end with no deal. Here's what you need to know. Negotiations to break the stimulus stalemate end with no compromise in sight. Ohio's governor, who offered a stark virus warning, test positive, then negative. 9 of U.S. 10th largest school districts will begin the year online. A broken health reporting system in California muddies the picture of the bug. China exports rise despite the bug, surprising economists and battling on all sides. Burks pressed on against the bug. Vietnam, latest bug situation is more infectious than its last, officials say. Yeah, that's a whole nother thing that could potentially, this is from the New York Times, by the way. That's a whole nother issue too. If this bug that we're dealing with now gets worse, it mutates, there's a second outbreak, man, it's going to be a whole another thing we have to deal with. Everything's going to probably get shut down again, and we're back to square one. Hopefully this is the last of it, but you never know. At this point, it's just a lot of unpredictability right now. That's why you've got to diversify your income streams. If you have one income stream, it's just your job, I would try to see what you can do to diversify it, because you never know what's going to happen. If you're expecting to get a stimulus check to help support you for the month, I wouldn't bet too much on it, because even if it's coming, we don't really know when it's coming. It's right now the beginning of August. By the time it passes, if it does get passed, and it goes into your account and it's distributed and all that good stuff, it's probably going to be, best case scenario, I'm predicting late August to mid-September. That's just my prediction. We'll have to wait and see. Okay, so tracking the case, looks like new cases in the US is down 16%, new passings is up 19%, and let's see where cases are rising the fastest. We got, looks like the East Coast and California and Texas, Florida, the main hotspots that we have been looking at before. Okay, we're almost there, guys, almost there. Where the jobs are in one chart. If you're looking for a job, here is a chart that can potentially help you. If you're applying, whatever you're trying to do, this might help you out. Leisure and hospitality, this is from July, by the way. July jobs, 1 month net change, this is from CNBC. Leisure and hospitality, 592,000. Government, retail, healthcare, professional and business services, transportation and warehousing, manufacturing, financial advice, construction, utilities, those are the main sectors. Wholesale trading, mining and logging information have dropped. Oh, this was also something new I saw. I'm not sure if you guys heard about this. Bernie Sanders proposes one-time tax that would cost Bezos $42.8 billion, Musk $27.5 billion. I saw it this morning. I guess it's some kind of tax where he wants to one-time tax the billionaires and distribute that money. We'll see what's going to happen with that. I don't think it's going to have much traction. We'll wait and see. The Labor Department on Friday said that payrolls increased by 1.763 million in July, above the 1.48 million estimate that economists polled by Dow Jones had expected. Unemployment rate fell to 10.2%, better than the 10.6% forecast. CNBC studied the change by industry for July jobs based on data contained in the employment report. Okay, let's see what else we got. The food service and drinking places subsector alone saw a net gain of 504,000 jobs and helped push the sector up 592,000 for the month. Other amusements, gamblings, and recreational workplaces added 99,600 jobs. All right, let's continue on here. Healthcare, of course, added a bunch of jobs. If you have a healthcare degree or you're in the healthcare field, now might be a good time to see what's available. If you're looking for a job, if you're in the job, maybe try to go negotiate, because there's a high demand for healthcare. Maybe you can get more money if you go negotiate your salary. All right, CNET, here's everything you could get in the next stimulus package, assuming there's a deal. Congress and White House negotiators are staring down their Friday deadline to agree on another bill. Here's where the debate stands on enhanced unemployment benefits and more. I mean, these guys still have time to come to a deal, don't get me wrong, but it doesn't seem very likely that something will be reached at the moment. All right, what it is. Okay, so we already went over all this stuff. I'm not going to go over this stuff again. You guys kind of know what the issues are, what they're discussing. But today is the day. If something is to get passed, that's the day. Here you go. So Republican from Ohio, the bonus would be $450 a week. There you go. That's one of the issues. Instead of $600, they want $450. All right, and let's see, payroll tax. Yeah, things we already talked about. All right, this is from the Washington Post. U.S. economy added 1.8 million jobs in July as it worked to recover from the bug. The jobless rate fell to 10%, the Bureau of Labor and Statistics said. U.S. economy added 1.8 million jobs, another site to confirm it. And it looks like in April, unemployment was 14.7, May was 13.3, June 11, July 10.2. Looks like we're moving in the right direction based on the numbers. Now, like I said, depending on what happens with the bug, if there's another bug, bug number 2, these numbers could go back in the opposite direction. But hopefully unemployment drops, people can get back to work and get back to some kind of normalcy. All right, what else we got? Yep, talked about that already. Amusement, gambling, recreation, how much they added. And looks like the information is pretty consistent with what we're seeing at the moment. All right, and the cases are almost at 5 million at the moment in the U.S. Okay, let's see. And yeah, the issue about how to prevent the bug or how to go forward is very political. Depending on which state you live in, some states have a full lockdown, some states are open, and it's just gonna have to wait and see. At this time, we have no clue what's gonna happen. U.S. jobless claims fell to 1.2 million from the Wall Street Journal. Unemployed Americans line up as 600 jobless benefit expires. More than 50 million Americans have filed for the unemployment since the start of the bug, overwhelming some states. Okay, that just confirms what I was telling you guys earlier, and we're gonna end it with this. Right now it is in the afternoon on a Friday, 12:42 p.m. and the stocks are pretty consistent. Dow is down a little bit. S&P is basically at zero, stayed consistent. Stocks are flat as U.S.-China tension and stimulus uncertainty offset strong jobs reports. Yeah, guys, it's going to be a crazy ride. This is also from CNBC. The bug relief talk grind to a near halt, dimming the chances of a deal. Okay. All right, guys, we're going to leave it there for now. I think that gives you a good idea for where we're at today. Like I said, I don't like the weekends too much because I got to wait a couple more days till the market's open, but hey, that's how it goes. But in the meanwhile, I will keep you guys posted. If something comes out that is urgent, I will post it on Twitter because Twitter is quick and easy. You guys can see it, so make sure you follow me over on Twitter. Just click the follow, that's it. Alright guys, that's from this video. As always, if you're not subscribed, don't subscribe. If you like the video, don't forget to like. Until next time, peace.